Hi, my name is Salwa Rahaman, and this summer I did my HHPR internship, and I am a health science studies, health professions major with a pre-PA track and a public health minor. This summer I was the intern for Texan Allergy and Sinus Center. They have 16 different clinics all throughout Texas, and so I got to work at the Waco location this summer. The staff included Christopher Thomas, who is the founder, and Allie Thomas, his wife, who is the CEO, Dustin Smith, who is the CFO, who's in charge of financial things, Sean Miller, who is the CBO, Stacy Silvers, who is the head allergist for Texan Allergy throughout the entire company, Donnie Stone, who is the VP and the PAC that I was supposed to work with this summer. Chris Barty is the NPC who I actually ended up working with this summer since Donnie was promoted to becoming the VP of the entire company. He had the responsibilities of traveling to different locations and working at all the 16 locations over their summer in order to get up to speed to his new role and to also implement new types of curriculums and new protocols. Ashley, Heather, and Caroline were the three medical assistants that I worked with this summer. The different consultations that are offered at Texan Allergy are an allergy consultation, a sinus consultation, and telemedicine. Telemedicine is basically just kind of a FaceTime, webcast, Skype thing that patients are able to do with the NP or the PAs or doctors that work for Texan Allergy if they're unable to go to one of the 16 locations that are in Texas. The treatment options that Texan Allergy offers are allergy shots, which are given weekly or every 3 days, depending on how potent the allergy is that each person has. Allergy drops, which are created in Europe and are not covered by insurance, but are administered at home and are much safer than getting the shots every week. Those drops are taken every day. And personally, if I had allergies and I was being treated at Texan Allergy, I would feel comfortable doing that the most. And there is also oral immunotherapy therapy that is offered, which is for peanut allergies and different nut allergies that children have. It's basically giving the specific peanut or nut that the child is allergic to every day in small increments until they have built up their immunity to the allergy. But the only downside is that every single day they have to eat peanuts or the specific nut that they're allergic to for the rest of their life. Texan Allergy also does this surgery called balloon sinuplasty, which is a sinus surgery. And basically what the doctor will do, Dr. Fulmer will go up into the sinuses through the nose, and he will have a guide wire that goes up with a light. It will shine the light, find the proper entryway into the sinus, and then he will insert the balloon. The balloon will open a little bit, break the eggshell thin bones in this area and this area of the face, and he'll be able to clean out the sinuses, which is the maxillary, the sphenoid, and the frontal sinuses right here. How did I find this clinic? I basically just drove around Waco, especially down by Providence Hospital, and I just went door to door and tried to find a PA that was able to work with me. I went to many clinics in Waco by Providence Hospital. I went to places in Dallas at my home, and I called several places in Austin. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anyone in Austin or in Dallas, so Waco is my only option. I was very lucky to have found Texan Allergy because originally I was supposed to work with Epiphany Dermatology, which is right next door to Texan Allergy, but they had some things come up and they were unable to take me anymore since the PA had just moved and their new PA wasn't going to be available to work with me for the summer since she was going to be brand new. All I did was basically just go to Texan Allergy, bring my resume in, dress up in my business casual clothes, and ask them if I would be able to work with them. And they basically told me that they would love to have me. They'd never had an intern before, and I was very, very excited. All I knew is that I needed to have good communication with this clinic to make sure that I would be able to work with them, especially since we had to ask so far in advance to work with them. My roles and responsibilities included gathering the injection vials, prepping the injections, doing some paperwork, filing, running errands, which is just things that all interns get to do. I would clean patient rooms in between times when the MAs would be very busy. I would do coffee and lunch runs because people have to eat, and coffee is the way that we live. And then I'd basically just follow the provider around every day and not just be his shadow, but kind of just be his right hand, be his assistant, do any things that he needed me to do, as long as he wasn't able to do them. And then I'd also monitor patients while they were being allergy tested. Just some critiques and tips that I have for students that are going to be doing these internships in the upcoming years would be learn to ask questions, don't be afraid. I know I felt a lot of times that I was overstepping, or I felt like it wasn't my place to say anything, but it's definitely your place to say things. You're not a shadow, you're an intern, you work there, you should demand the same respect that everyone else gets. But also know your boundaries and know when you can and cannot interject, just because you don't want to overstep and then have to have a conversation with your supervisor or your fellow coworkers. Make sure to also stand up for your education and show the people that you are here to learn and you deserve to be heard and are also taught by the people that you're working with. Have an open communication with your boss and his staff, and always just ask what things that you can do. Ask if you can participate in surgery, consultations, testing. Just be a go-getter, basically. Just keep persevering. That's just my main thing, my main tip to give to anyone else who's going to do this internship. Also, if you can possibly come in BLS certified or certified to give injections, that will help the clinic a lot more, and they'll be more inclined to give you more responsibilities. So my daily routine basically was at 8 a.m. I would just arrive to my clinic. Around 8:30 to 12, we would run allergy tests or go to patient rooms, give them injections and just monitor them. Around 12 to 1, we would prep the clinic for the afternoon patients and also eat lunch, but our clinic wouldn't be closed. We just work through lunch, and whenever we get a minute, we just go and have our lunch. And then from 1 to 4, we would run allergy tests, injections, and have consultations or CTs for patients. And then 4 to 5 p.m., we would prepare the clinic for the next day, which consisted of just cleaning the rooms out, paperwork, filing, billing, and getting injections ready for the next day. What did I learn about myself? ENT is a type of medication that I never thought I would go into because I was not even aware that PAs were needed in this field. And I also realized that PA school is definitely something that I wanted to do. Working with Chris, who was our NP, and Donnie a few times over the summer really just showed me that this was the type of place that I wanted to be. This is the type of thing that I want to do. Also, working in a specialty clinic, which is moderately busy, is going to be very good for the lifestyle that I want to have one day, especially when I want to have a family and kids. My project that I did this summer was make a brochure about the treatment options and the different procedures that Texan Allergy and Sinus Center offers. Since a lot of people don't know what they offer, I was very lucky to be able to make this brochure for them, and I have this brochure actually right here with me. So here's my brochure. It has these two lovely kids on the front, and then in the opening we just have basically all of their different things that they have offered, their different treatment plans, which are on the bottom right here, and the different methods of how we do allergy testing. And then the back right here just has information about the seasonal allergies that are in Texas, especially Central Texas, and then just the contact information for Texan Allergy in Waco. I felt very lucky to be able to do that because they didn't have a brochure explaining all of their options. They only had this one about balloon sinuplasty, which is just the sinus side, so I was very, very thrilled when they told me to make the one for the allergy side of their clinic. If I was offered a long-term position, I would accept, but the medical world works a little bit different. Since I wouldn't have my PA degree until a couple of years in the future, I wouldn't be able to accept, or if I become MA certified. Then if I was MA certified, I would, of course, accept that job in a heartbeat because I loved working with the MAs. I learned so much more working with them every single day compared to just working with the NP and the PA at the clinic. Overall, if everything does work out for me and I am accepted into PA school and offered a job at Texan Allergy, I would accept because I fell in love with ENT medication, and I just think that the things that they offer are just impeccable and everyone should be benefited by their procedures. So also, I'm going to attach my PowerPoint that I'm currently going off of because I have pictures there. So we had a surgery suite, and there's a picture of me that I'm holding the balloon sinuplasty tool, which has the guide wire, the balloon, the light, and the suction tube in it. And then also I was able to work with injections. So there's a picture of me also holding injections and preparing the injections. And so here is my notebook that I made for the summer. So it starts off with my goals and objectives, and then it goes into my agency report right here, which is a couple pages long. And then I have my critique and tips for future interns, which also is a couple pages. Not that it was anything bad, just all good things. And then I have my daily journals, which are just listed here, or I guess bi-weekly they are. And then I go into, let's see, my hour logs. So here is an example of one of my hour logs. Just write down how many hours I completed in the week, what hours I worked, and my total hours that I'd completed, since I needed the 150 for my internship to count. And then here's a black and white copy of my brochure that I made. And I have my research paper, which was the second part of my project. So I basically just wrote a paper about various methods on how to treat allergies and the different procedures and treatment offers they have at Texan Allergy. And my references page. And last but not least, I have my thank you letter, which I wrote for all of the staff at Texan Allergy and Sinus Center. This is just the one for Chris, who was the NP I was working with. But I also wrote handwritten thank you notes for the ladies that I worked with, which were the MAs, Heather, Caroline, and Ashley. That's about it. That was my summer, and I loved every second of it, and I'm glad that I was able to tell you guys about it today. Thank you.